This is Dan Orlovsky, and you're watching PressPassTV.
Hey, welcome to PressPassTV. I'm Morgan Page. Brett Connor seriously effed up his shoulder. I mean, so badly that his doctor didn't think he'd toss a baseball again, let alone resume his career as a D1 pitcher. But that didn't stop Brett from achieving his goal. Check it out.
Here we go.
You know, when I woke up this morning, I couldn't even lift up my arm, and I didn't know if I was going to make it through the day. But you know, once I get out there, my adrenaline just takes over, and I don't feel anything, and I just go about my business and do my job.
Here we go now, Brett. Come on, BC. Come on, 2-4. Come on, BC. Attaboy.
Every day is a new day, and that's how I've been living since surgery.
A surgery that doctors told him might end his career. But that's not how Monmouth University super senior Brett Connor saw his career ending. So he battled back after 3 years of rehabilitation and earned his starting position back.
Just go out and do your thing.
These days, he's in search of his first win since surgery. But it's been a very long road for Brett.
Every morning, you know, I wake up and I don't know what to expect, whether my arm will be feeling good or be feeling awful. You know, there's some days where I wake up and I can do 25 jumping jacks, but there's other days where I'm in so much pain that I just want somebody to just cure me right there. The summer going into my freshman year, I was talking to Coach E. Hall, and I'll never forget him saying, as a pitcher, I hope that you come in throwing, you know, around 87 miles an hour. As a freshman, I actually exceeded the 87. I topped that at 89, and that's really when I found myself as a pitcher and thought that, you know, big things were about to come in my life.
Sophomore year, a scout from the Northeast Division approached Brett about possibly being drafted. But by the beginning of that summer, Brett's fate was already decided.
I was scheduled to start a summer league game, and when I took the mound, it didn't feel good that day at all. It just felt terrible. So I got the sign. I'll never forget, fastball, just fastball right down the middle. When I threw it, I felt a pop in my shoulder. I just couldn't lift up my arm, and I felt like something was wrong. I actually pulled myself out of the game because it was just the worst pain I ever felt in my life. When I went down to see the doctor, he just said that I had some inflammation in my shoulder and just go to therapy.
But after months of therapy, Brett says his shoulder still didn't feel quite right, so he went in for an MRI.
I got my MRI results back, and they showed a little tiny tear in my rotator cuff. The second MRI showed that there was a tear in my labrum, which was to be repaired, but nothing else was torn. Everything was fine. The rotator cuff was fine.
How do you feel overall, man?
Sore.
Any specific soreness or just everywhere?
When I woke up from surgery, the doctor said that I had more tears in my shoulder than expected.
It was your right shoulder here, shoulder blade back here, that's your collarbone. He had long head of the biceps tendon, which is this tendon right here, up in the shoulder joint. He had a partial tear of that tendon there. He had the rotator cuff is 4 muscles actually, and they come along and attach here, and he had an undersurface tear of that tendon right there, which would be right about here on Brett. And then the labrum, which is cartilage inside your joint, it's the cartilage surrounding the socket of the ball and socket joint. He had a tear in that as well. All we're gonna do is ice and stretch you out real well, and that'll be it for today.
I'll never forget the words that the doctor said when he woke me up, that it's going to be a tough, long road for me to make it back as a pitcher, if I even do make it back.
When he had that surgery, I would have expected him to get back to normal activity. Not normal baseball activity, but normal activities of daily living, brushing his teeth, brushing his hair, being able to do everything like that. But I wouldn't have thought somebody with all 3 of those things would have come back and pitched at a Division I level. That hurts you there? Not too bad? Okay, good. You'll be ready soon. And by soon, I mean about 2 weeks.
Here I am. I felt I was in my prime of being a pitcher. This was taken away from me. I was angry, and it was a tough time.
Brett was finally cleared by doctors to pitch at the end of his senior season, May 2007. He pitched 1 inning against rival Rutgers, and Monmouth won. They went on to win the conference championships that year. Even after the championship season and 1 year of eligibility left, Brett's frustration with his shoulder caused him to think about leaving the game on a high note. But his friends wouldn't let him.
I had a good friend, Danny Orlovsky, who really pushed me hard to not give up on my dream.
How many pitches did you end up throwing yesterday, you know?
Like 78. I knew I wasn't going to come back and be the way I was back in 2005, but my dream now, instead of getting drafted and all that good stuff, my dream now was just to pitch again.
And with some intense 5 a.m. workouts and a brighter attitude, Brett's new dream did become a reality.
After surgery, I couldn't get this far, but I used to cry when he used to do this.
Yeah, he didn't. It wasn't
so painful. From the surgery, where I used to come, I'll do it with my left arm because I used to come from up over the top as a pitcher, but now I throw from 3/4 down here because I can't get my arm all the way up straight. So if you can see the difference.
After surgery, he lost a lot of velocity, and that's just expected. So he doesn't throw as hard as he used to. I was a little bit doubtful that he was going to come back and pitch again, but he did good.
He doesn't have stuff that he used to have, but he just goes out there and competes, and guys just root for him. Guys just root for him just because of who he is and what he's been through and what kind of teammate he is to these guys.
You got guys ready. Oh, you got it. Go back out.
He threw strikes when he needed to. He got guys out on their front foot in negative counts. He was able to throw his breaking ball 1-0. He got through a big changeup to their left-handed batter, and he just battled.
I just made it past the 6th inning, and my goal was actually to get past the 5th, so I'm satisfied with my outing. The next step is to win the game, and we're up 8-3. We're going to take me out and bring in the fish. We call him Fish, but his name's Tim Ballard. He's going to close out this game for me so I can get my first win of the season. My first win since surgery, actually. Come on, Fish. Good boy.
If you haven't gone through what it takes to come back from major surgery, you can't really understand half of his story.
Teddy bear. Boy. Good boy.
DC.
Yo.
First one in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Nice job.
Way to throw the ball.
Nice.
Way to throw the ball. Great job.
I know he's not the same pitcher he might have been when he was 18 years old, but he's good enough for us. And you know, we're certainly going to miss everything that he brings to the table.
There was a time, you know, after a year of surgery when I wasn't even seeing any results, and I wanted just to give up. There was no point, you know. But I wasn't going to let the doctor get the best of me when he told me that I wasn't going to pitch ever again. So I tried my best and worked my hardest just to overcome and to make him eat his words, pretty much. Not that he's a bad guy, he's a good guy, but I like to win, I like to play the game, and, you know, now that I'm pitching, even though I'm not pitching, you know, as much as I'd like, you know, where I'm pitching, you know, every week and a half or 2 weeks or whatnot, it's totally worth it because there's no better feeling than being on the field and in a Division I game. You know, everything's worth it.
From the pitcher's mound at Monmouth University, Andrea Fasano, PressPassTV.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hope you enjoyed that story. And if you want to check out more behind-the-scenes action, log on to PressPass.tv or YouTube.com/PressPass. And if you want to check out our live or podcast radio shows, check out PressPassRadio.com. I'm Morgan Page. Bye.